Okay, so this morning I was like, I gotta have some cold brew. It's a hot summer day. I want coffee. I'm gonna be drinking a lot of coffee today. So I'm gonna just whip up a batch, right? No. I got on the old Googlers and I found out that it takes 24 hours to make cold brew coffee. Oh, hell no. So then I was like, okay, there's gotta be another way. There's gotta be another way. So to my surprise and delight, I discovered that sous vide is the answer here, isn't it always? By keeping the water at the precise temperature for only 2 hours, you can get perfect cold brew concentrate. So I think I'm gonna try and make that today, and then I'll be able to drink cold brew today like I wanted to. Let's do it. Okay, so for today, I'm gonna grind up some Barefoot Coffee Roasters Norandino from Peru. It's supposed to taste like chocolate, caramel, and raisins come together with a touch of grapefruit and a lingering taste of cocoa. It's supposed to be like a medium roast. Should be good. Okay, so for my recipe today, we're gonna do 6 ounces of coffee to 32 ounces of water. And you'd be surprised how much 6 ounces of coffee beans really is. So you're going for kind of like a French press grind on this one. So yes, I am using a blade grinder. A burr grinder would be ideal so you can get perfect coffee grinds, so your extraction, blah, 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 blah. Use what you got. Actually, James Hoffman has a really interesting tutorial about how to make the most out of your blade grinder. So I'll link that video down below. You can check out his tip. I'm not doing that today because, well, I'm feeling lazy, let's be honest. All right, so now I'm gonna weigh out the water and I'm looking for 32 ounces. And this is a 32 ounce Pyrex measuring cup here. So we'll see how accurate the Pyrex is, or the scale, I guess. All right, now for the extra tricky bit, getting this stuff into a vacuum sealed bag. So I've never gotten a liquid in a vacuum sealed bag before. Let's see how it goes. Waiting on that seal. So I left a lot of extra room on here, hoping that will save me and prevent me from getting coffee and water all over the place. I'm gonna pretend like I've ever poured coffee before. Okay. And then I'm gonna quickly just try and squeeze out some of that air and make sure all the grinds are touching some water. So I've already got quite a bit of air out of there. And maybe what I'll do, so they showed kind of getting this pretty flat on the internets. Oh boy, how do you do that? Okay, maybe if we go like that, yeah. And then there is a moist setting, and I would certainly say this is moist. Let's see what happens. Please don't spill liquid all over my basement. Okay, there's still a really big air bubble in there that has me fairly nervous, but I think it's already sealing it. Oh, it's kind of damp in there. Okay, yeah, that's hot. Okay, so we've lost some coffee grinds up there, and the more I try to get them back, the more I'm spreading up there. So maybe I gotta just do one of these to pull them down. Oh, you give it the shake and shimmy, they start to fall down. Now to get this in the sous vide bath. Okay, so when I went to move the vacuum sealer, there was a bunch of coffee in there and I spilled it all over my carpet, so that was really fun. And then look, I've got a significant amount of air still in the bag. So we'll see how this goes. I'm not sure vacuum sealing was great. I might have to just puncture this and let the natural way that the water can push stuff out work for me on this. And I'm also nervous about the size of my container, so let's see how this goes. Oh, are we gonna spill water everywhere? No, I don't think we are. Okay, but it is forcing coffee up. I'm like, is that? You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna puncture a hole in the top to let out some of this air as soon as I find a device with which to puncture. I had a corkscrew handy. Let's just get a little hole right there. Let's see what happens. See if it'll force all the air out of the bag here. Yeah, okay. And then I'll use a little spring clamp right here. Looks like we got a lot of coffee grains up there at the top. All right, so I'm gonna leave this alone for 2 hours and see how it goes.
2 hours later.
Okay, so this has been chuching for about 2 hours, so it should be ready to go. So I'm gonna filter out all the grinds and see what we've got. And a lot of the grinds are staying in the bags. This is pouring pretty quickly. So I'm just using a standard Chemex metal filter. You could use the paper filter for Chemex, or even a normal coffee filter for this part. Whatever you have, go ahead and use that. It's just a easy setup for me. All right, okay, so we're done dripping, and I'm gonna just try some of it while it's kind of warm right now. Now, if you wanted to serve this hot, you'd want to heat it back up to like 175 or something like that. Obviously, through the drip process, this is pretty cool, but I figured let's just give it a taste and see where we're at. Okay, so obviously this is very concentrated in order to be able to make cold brew, where you're gonna water it down and use cream and sugar and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's super strong, but it doesn't taste like stale or too bitter or anything like that. It's just really strong. It tastes pretty good. So I'm gonna try to make an iced coffee right now and see how it tastes. So cue the B-roll. All right, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that hits the spot. If you're anything like me, you just want to chug caffeine all day so you can stay awake. And obviously coffee being hot just doesn't work in the summer, and cold brew just scratches that itch perfectly. So as I was researching cold brew sous vide coffee, I also found a few other ways that you can use sous vide and coffee together that kind of blew my mind, and there's some things I'm going to try in the future. Like there's a guy who makes coffee bitters with the sous vide, and coffee butter to put on steak, and coffee rubbed steak to just go in there. There's all kinds of stuff. So I'm gonna leave a few links below for some further viewing about different ways people have used coffee and sous vide, and I might be checking some of those out myself pretty soon. All right, if you like this video, go ahead and leave me a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing. Till next time, cheers.